Hello, everyone. Have you personally ever been struck by someone that's running over 20 miles per hour? Hello, I'm Ryan, and today I will be explaining and talking about the many dangers that football players take every time they step on the field. For my first main idea, a whopping 34% of football players of all ages experience head and body traumas due to impact between players. These injuries can cause deterioration in the brain, better known as CTE. The traumas included can be very dangerous to players as they get older. Actually, the NFL did a test on former players looking for CTE in the brain. And out of a whopping 202 former players, NFL players, 177 of them were diagnosed with CTE in the brain. And as I said, CTE in the brain leads to deterioration. My second main idea. The lack of longevity players receive when injured. When football players go through serious injuries, especially the skull or the brain, they will never be the same as they were before, and often, most cases, it's career ending. 53% of football players still experience everyday struggles from their time playing. And this is just an example to clarify that my tactics in making the sport better would be beneficial. Gale Sayers suffered a knee injury during a game against the 49ers in 1968. His right knee buckled and he tore several ligaments, including the medial collateral ligament, the cartilage, and the anterior cruciate ligament 1. He dealt with these injuries and returned for the 1969 season. Sadly, Sayers was never the same and retired just the season after in 1970. Before Sayers' death in 2020, his wife came out and said after his 1969 season, Gale would never be the same physically and would have knee problems for the rest of his life. Finally, my third main idea. Through better improved knowledge of head injury and better medical care, we can mitigate the effects of concussions at all levels of football. Number one. Well, football is the most dangerous sport in the world. Here are some tactics that would benefit the game of football as a whole. Number one, improved head-to-head contact penalties. I can definitely say from me playing in high school and since I was little in Pee Wee, most, probably more than 70% of injuries in football are head injuries, concussions, and that's why we often do concussion testing at the beginning of the season. And next, more equipment which adds weight and protection so the runners become slower, which causes less impact velocity, and they are better protected. So if you think about that, that's kind of the best of both worlds because they have more padding on, so they are better protecting themselves from the opponents while also weighing them down more, so this velocity that they're both impacting at is lower, which is a lot safer than the NFL today, where they're just running full speed and clamming each other. Next, more staff on the field at all times that specify in the human brain and bones. I can especially say in high school when I had my injury, my senior year, we were playing our rivals actually, and I tore something in my ankle, and our physical trainer, he did not know a lot about that particular spot in the human body. So I did have to end up going to urgent care that night, which sucks, but I will say that having someone that is cognizant of all injuries that can happen in football on your side is something that you need because throughout the games you may realize or go through like 3 or 4 injuries throughout all your players. And finally, better helmet development. I feel like that one just kind of speaks for itself. Taking these cautionary steps would improve players' health and safety, while allowing these men to maintain a high quality of life after football. So in Sayers, what happened to Sayers, that's what we're not trying to let happen. I hope all of you recognize the many dangers that the sport of football has to offer and how much safer football would be if the officials took more initiative in players' safety. Thank you.